be talking about is building an international component to your personal and professional network. When you have the international component, when you surround yourself with a diversity of people, diversity of thought, diversity of ideas, you will walk away a better person, and your creativity will be improved. When I was investigating grad schools, there was an area of research that I found intriguing. It stemmed way back to a popular science article that I'd read about wave energy. When I started to look at schools, though, I realized there's not many schools in the US that study this particular niche of research. Now, I ended up going to Oregon State, one of the few schools that does do the research, and there's great research coming out of it. But as I began my first year, it became apparent that in order to stay relevant, in order to keep up to date with the state-of-the-art research that was going on in this field, I needed to keep track of what was going on with my European counterparts, with my Asian counterparts. I needed to know what was happening around the world, because most research and industry was not coming out of the United States. Now, for the first year, I was 9-ish time zones away from where most of this research was happening, which provides a slight challenge for building that community and building that network. So that first year was mostly one-sided. It was me downloading papers, and my entire relationship with these people was their name at the top of that paper. Now, at the end of that first year, I had an opportunity to go to the northern part of Spain to attend a networking symposium. This was my first exposure to professional networking outside the safety of my university. My first trip overseas by myself. And there I go with my business cards, my poster, and only the foggiest idea of what my research was going to be. At the end of that week, there were several things that I had learned. A, that you need a network, and you need an international component to it. So that can be a little scary, and it can be kind of challenging as you think about the extra competition that you now have to consider. But if we take a step back from that, and instead think of international networking as an ability to better yourself as a person, it gives us a different perspective. You'll walk away with different ideas, different ways to think about things, and different thought processes. If you have a chance to go to a networking symposium specifically designed to engage with those from around the world, do so. Look for those that are on the same level as you. It's a little less daunting, a little less scary. They're dealing with the same fears you are. They have the same stress load that you do. So you have that commonality to begin with. So start by getting to know them, and then they can introduce you to their connections. And you effectively meet them plus everybody that they know. And then deal with that personal interaction. It's not all about the work. This summer, I'm working at a national lab over in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And the reason I got this job, I think, is because I was rock climbing. I met a guy in DC for 30 seconds, forgot his name, forgot his face. He was working with wave energy, and I knew he worked at the national lab. This was in February, about a year and a half ago. In August of that year, I'm at home, I'm on my climbing gym. I'm rock climbing, there's an individual there. We talk, he's hanging out with his kids climbing. He's a cool guy. I just remember going home and thinking, that was a great guy. 2 months later, I'm in France at another conference, and I meet the guy that I met in DC. Turns out that this guy is the same guy that I climbed with. And because I was climbing with him one time, he introduced me to one of his colleagues who was looking for an intern for the summer, and I got a job without talking about my work much. But by rock climbing, look for those personal connections. And when you're dealing with people from different cultures, the connections are broad. The topic conversations are massive. Those differences are where you're going to build the connections. You are or are becoming an expert in your field. And people want to know you, and they want to know the people that you know. It's a chance to interact, a chance to build connections, a chance to get to know more people, to improve your creative thought. And as you're thinking about building your own personal and professional network, think about how and what component of that is going to be international.